Rachel and welcome back to my channel. So this is my weigh-in update. I haven't done one of these in ages. So I have vlogged most of what I have eaten this week, and before we get into numbers, etc, the one thing I want to have for the rest of my life is a good relationship with food. I don't want to be on a diet for the rest of my life or a certain plan for the rest of my life. I want to be able to eat good wholesome food, and for me to choose that food first and not to feel guilty if I have a Chinese maybe once a month or the odd bit of chocolate. And I think, and this week has really taught me a lot. So I've always said that I'm not a very good cook and I don't like cooking. Don't get me wrong, that still stands. There's some days where I've really had to drag myself into the kitchen, but once I've got into the swing of it, I've actually enjoyed it. And I think why I've really loved it this week is I've not looked at a recipe and gone, how can I adapt that to make it more healthier, or twisted it into a certain plan or things like that. I've just looked at the recipe and I followed it step by step, and I've absolutely loved it. This week I've had some lovely recipes. One of my firm favourites was the coronation chicken. So simple to have. A can of chicken in a white sauce, some curry powder, mayonnaise, mango chutney and some sultanas in it, and you've got coronation chicken. A can will do 2 people. I had mine on a jacket potato and the husband had his on a bed of rice for his lunch. It was so lovely. I cannot tell you how much I thoroughly enjoyed that. Then some of the evening meals I've loved, we've loved the vegetable curry. One of my firm favourites as well was the falafels. I thought that would be really daunting, but they were so incredibly simple to make and very, very tasty indeed. Then the bean burgers, they didn't look appetising, but trust me, they were delicious as well. And right at the beginning of the week, my first recipe what I did was something called a lasagna. Now it was lovely, but I'd probably change it up. I did it with chopped tomatoes, and I think going forward, if I'd use it again, I would change the chopped tomatoes to passata, so the sauce was a little bit more thicker. It was a little bit watery for my personal taste. But overall, the flavours and everything like that was lovely, and it filled us up no end. Then on Saturday, we had a pizza party. So we got some short crust pastry, and we defrosted it. It was a frozen one, so we defrosted it for a few hours, and then we had half a block each, and all the family was in the kitchen, and we made our own pizzas. Chris had a stuffed crust, Max had a stuffed crust. Grace absolutely loved being involved with making her pizza. She made hers into a little love heart and she had a few little toppings on, and it was so lovely for her to try it and be involved in it. And I had mine with a large salad. I had a few chips, but it really filled me up. I think it's because I was really looking forward to it, and I absolutely loved it. But I loved having all the family in the kitchen and us all like swapping toppings and things like that, and really getting involved, and then putting it in the oven and finding out what it looked like when they were all cooked. It was just a really nice experience. And then on Sunday we had Fanta gammon, which was one of the best recipes. I absolutely love Fanta gammon. I've loved that for a long time. With lots of veggies served with roast potatoes, carrots, peas, sweet corn, and some broccoli and cauliflower, and that was very nice. And the leftovers of the gammon I'm turning into a pie for tonight's tea. You'll see that tomorrow in my what I eat in a day. So yeah, I've absolutely loved all the food I have eaten. I felt full, I felt satisfied. Some people have mentioned my portion sizes. I think we all eat to satisfy our own hunger levels. If I was hungry, I'd go back for more, but I'm very happy with what I'm eating on my plate. I've been really conscious of plating my salad up first and then putting the main product on last, so I don't put a lot of that on. I fill up on the veggies and the salady bits and all the really healthy bits, and then have the other little bit on the extra. If I feel like I want some more, then I'll go and get some more. But honestly, this week I haven't felt hungry, felt deprived. I felt like I'm on a plan or anything like that. I've not had like really bad headaches. I had a minor one, but I think that was just getting used to having a week where I've eaten loads and loads and loads of stuff, which yes was lovely in the moment, but I felt awful afterwards. Meal planning and thinking ahead has really made a difference. And speaking to my mum about things and saying that I've got a buzz back into the enjoyment of food and cooking again is really nice to see. And my mum made a point which was really true and it really stuck with me, is I'm going back to how I was as a child, where I had a good breakfast, a lunch, an evening meal, and like the takeaways were seen as a treat. So if we went swimming at Doncaster Dome, then as a little treat, then we would go to McDonald's. It wasn't seen as can't be bothered, let's have a McDonald's or let's have a takeaway. That was a treat. It was something which we looked forward to. It was planned in. Oh, we're going to have a Chinese this Saturday. It wasn't something where I couldn't be bothered or life got too involved. It was something which was a treat. Now we have something planned in our calendar where we're going to have a takeaway. That is the end of this month. And we're all looking forward to it. We're like thinking what we're going to order, and there's that excitement, and because it's something we're looking forward to, it's just brought a bit of a buzz in. And it's not like, oh, what we're going to have today, are we going to have a pizza, a Chinese, an Indian, a burger, we're going to go to McDonald's, KFC. So yeah, because I've scrapped that and we've had the meal, we know what we're having. I mean, some days I've like swapped it up depending if like if I knew Chris was coming back later, then I would swap a recipe for another day. And I've planned to shop that week. There's been no added extras or anything like that. We did run out of the fresh stuff because we've really been snacking on like the apples, the pears, the strawberries, the raspberries. So we had to go to Aldi to get that in, which I don't mind at all. But the food waste this week has severely reduced. I haven't like gone into the fridge and gone, oh, I haven't used the chicken, or I've like gone, oh, my mushrooms have gone off. Everything in the fridge has been used, to the point where the fridge was bare of food. So penny-wise, we've saved a lot this week by doing that. No food waste, which is amazing. I hate wasting food. And overall, it's just been a really good week. So rambled on how good my week is, and I've probably said good too many times to annoy so many people. But numbers, if you've not watched my first video, you wouldn't know that I don't like stepping on the scales at all. Hate it. It's not one of my favourite things to do, but I know that it's a good indication if things are going in the right way. Also as well, just to touch on some non-scale victories, I feel more confident in my own skin. I tried on my jeans again and I feel comfortable. Now they're still tight, but they're not as tight as the was. They're not as tight where I think, oh my god, if I bend down, is the zip going to burst? Because we were getting to those kind of places, whereas now I can sit in them and I feel a little bit more comfortable, and I haven't got the fear of them breaking. So hopefully that's a good indication that I have lost weight this week. Fingers crossed. But that's a really good indication that I have had a good week, and I like those non-scale victories more than what those numbers say on scales. Now I got on the scales this morning and I was a little bit like, oh god, because I saw a number, and that number I hate seeing. We all have like a number on the scales where we know that that's our like, we know if we hit that number then we know we need to do something, and I'm at the top end of that number stepping on the scales today. I probably was in the next stone bracket, which is scary. Like, to scary how it quickly, I'm obviously just predicting the future because I've not seen what I was last week. I'm going to do that on camera. So I'll show you what I was today. So I stepped on the scales first thing this morning, and this is what the scales said. So the scale said 13 stone and 13.5 pounds. So I've put on a good amount of weight, which I knew I'd done. Like, you know, it's one of those things, and I'm here to go. We all have these moments of we overindulge over certain events, or me is a comfort eat if I'm anxious and nervous, and the world has been really not nice at the moment. So I've eaten my feelings. I've acknowledged it, and now I'm working towards getting back to my happy place. It comes to, have I lost, maintained, gained? What have I done this week? So the husband, last week, I didn't look down at all. The husband wrote it down on a piece of paper, and we couldn't find an envelope in this house. So he folded the piece of paper up, it's here, and he put it in his wallet, and I have not looked at it. And he left it on his, this is his bedside table here, he's left it on his bedside table for me to open. So this will see what I have done this week. So let's open it. I am guessing that I was in the 14s. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So, I don't know if you can see that, 11th of January, I was 14 stone, 7.5 pounds. Wow. So, 7.5, 6.5, 5.5, 4.5, 3, 1, 0. 8 pounds? Wow. Wow. Now, wow for two things. Wow that I let myself go that far out of control, which is just shocking, but we're not going to beat myself up about that. It's done, it's dusted. But wow that I've lost 8 pounds this week, that's just incredible. Obviously I came from eating whatever I wanted to eating a good substantial amount of food this week, but it's been really, really healthy. So that's going to shock the system. Some of that could be waterway. There's a lot of science in that kind of thing. I am not saying I've lost 8 pounds worth of fat, which would have been incredible, but I'm a lot lower than I was, which is amazing, like amazing. So I'm pleased to be in the 13s. I didn't think I would be sitting here and saying that. Wow, I don't know what to say. That's come as a really big shock to me, like, wow. So let's just take a moment. Right, so I've took a moment to think, and now my next little goal is to get lower into the 13s. Let's make that it. So my first goal now is to start working down to the 13s. Let's get down into the next stone bracket where I know I'm a lot happier. So let's get down into the 12s. That's my next goal. I'm not setting a weight loss goal or anything like that. I just want to see a consistent losses. As long as I'm eating hearty, healthy foods and not overindulging, then I'm doing the best thing possible for me and my body. So yeah, that's, wow, that's come as a shock, let's say. So I hope you've had a lovely week. As always, sending huge positive thoughts. See you soon. Bye.